Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we dive deep into the latest political controversy shaking the legal and judicial landscape. Could targeting Chief Justice John Roberts' law school classmates backfire? Let's break it down. All 9 Supreme Court justices are lawyers, and all of them have deep connections within the legal community. Many of them have friends, former colleagues, and law school classmates who work in private practice. They sit at the very top of a judicial system that depends on attorneys to present cases before them. Several of these justices, including Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Brett Kavanaugh, were once litigators themselves at prestigious law firms. Their careers thrived on the principle that lawyers must be able to advocate freely for their clients, without fear of political or personal retribution. Yet, recent executive orders from former President Donald Trump appear to challenge that very principle. These orders aim to penalize law firms that previously represented Democratic clients or individuals opposing Trump's policies. This unprecedented move raises serious constitutional concerns and could provoke strong reactions from federal judges, including those on the Supreme Court, who may see these actions as an attack on the legal profession itself. Trump's orders target prominent law firms. Several major law firms have come under fire from these executive actions. For example, the order against Perkins Coie openly criticizes the firm for its past representation of Hillary Clinton, stating in its second sentence that the firm worked for the failed presidential candidate. Another order targets WilmerHale, accusing it of engaging in obvious partisan representations to achieve political ends. Jenner Block is also in Trump's crosshairs because it once employed Andrew Weissman, a former prosecutor on Robert Mueller's team, whom the order accuses of conducting a partisan prosecution during the Russia investigation. These actions raise a critical question. Is Trump using his executive power to silence opposition by crippling law firms that previously worked against him? Severe consequences for the legal profession. The sanctions laid out in these executive orders are extreme. If enforced, they would bar attorneys and staff from the targeted law firms from entering federal buildings, prevent lawyers from engaging in plea bargaining with federal prosecutors, prohibit lawyers from appearing before federal agencies, revoke security clearances from lawyers at these firms, strip federal contracts from businesses associated with the targeted law firms. These measures could devastate firms like Perkins Coie, which represents clients across more than 90 federal agencies. If its attorneys cannot access federal buildings, many of its cases could grind to a halt. Additionally, major clients that rely on government contracts may be forced to cut ties with these law firms, leading to financial ruin. This level of government intervention in private legal practice is virtually unprecedented. While previous administrations have occasionally criticized lawyers representing controversial clients, such as the Bush administration's brief criticism of attorneys defending Guantanamo Bay detainees, no president has ever attempted anything as sweeping as Trump's sanctions against entire law firms. A constitutional crisis. Perkins Coie has already filed a lawsuit challenging the legality of these orders. The firm argues that the sanctions violate multiple constitutional protections, including First Amendment rights. The orders infringe upon free speech and free association by punishing firms for representing political opponents. Due process violations. The firms were given no warning, hearing, or opportunity to contest the sanctions before they were imposed. Separation of powers violations. No law grants the president the authority to blacklist legal professionals in this manner. Clients' rights to legal representation. The orders interfere with the fundamental right of individuals and organizations to choose their own legal counsel. Trump's legal team has yet to formally respond to these arguments. However, in a court hearing, one of his attorneys claimed that the president has the inherent authority to determine which individuals or companies are trustworthy with the nation's secrets. Trump's risky legal strategy. Usually, when a political figure seeks to reshape legal precedent, they do so by presenting their case in the most favorable light. But Trump's strategy is the opposite. He is waging a legal battle on highly unfavorable ground. The Supreme Court, which will ultimately weigh in on this issue, is composed of justices who have experienced intense scrutiny over their own legal careers. Many of them faced accusations during their confirmation hearings that their past legal work reflected personal bias. Chief Justice Roberts, for instance, was criticized for a brief he signed as a Justice Department lawyer arguing that Roe v. Wade should be overturned. At the time, Roberts and his Republican defenders insisted that an attorney's duty is to represent their client's interests, regardless of personal beliefs. By attacking law firms in such a blatant manner, Trump risks alienating justices who understand firsthand the importance of legal representation. This could backfire spectacularly, potentially even rallying conservative justices against him. The anti-Thurgood Marshall strategy. Trump's approach contrasts sharply with the strategy used by Thurgood Marshall, who carefully selected legal battles that would maximize the Supreme Court's empathy toward his clients. Before he argued Brown v. Board of Education, which overturned segregation in public schools, Marshall first fought for the integration of law schools in Sweat v. Painter, 1950. He understood that Supreme Court justices, as lawyers themselves, would sympathize with law students denied access to elite institutions. That case set the stage for broader desegregation rulings. Trump, on the other hand, is doing the exact opposite. Rather than appealing to the professional instincts of the justices, he is directly attacking members of their profession. If history is any indication, this could significantly weaken his legal position. Final thoughts. What happens next? The battle over Trump's executive orders is far from over. If the courts uphold these measures, it could set a dangerous precedent for using executive power to punish legal opponents. However, if the Supreme Court rules against Trump, it would reaffirm that even the president is bound by the Constitution. One thing is clear: this fight could shape the future of the legal profession in America. Will the courts allow a president to weaponize legal representation against political adversaries, or will they uphold the foundational principles of justice? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Trump's executive orders will hold up in court, or will they be struck down as unconstitutional? Thanks for watching Fresh Talk News channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more news and updates.